about. So the bother come attack me. Don't waste your time on a old jungle like me. Pie in the sky, promises and mama guy. Voters say their expectations were too high. Like the old proverb from way back long. You want to be wrong and strong. Some people bawling with their mouth closed. How they do that, only God knows. Man who could talk, they bawling with their jaws locked. I thought only dummies used to do that. A lady told me she's dying inside slowly, but she don't mind once it's NDC killing she. She say we had enough under Claudius, so nothing wrong if baby Jesus kill us. All those who claim that they love country more than party. The truth and reality is quite visual and so clear to see. Some things are morally wrong and unethical, are considered as politically essential. Their backs are against the wall, but you still can't tell them they're wrong at all. $2,000 increase on your salary, but you cut for people on by $150. I wonder who advising you. Old people go drag bam bam on you. You promise to improve standard of living, but I'm seeing more pain, hurt and suffering. Would you stop for a while and listen to me? Please don't send one more family into poverty. They're crying with their mouths closed. How they do that, only God knows. They're afraid to talk your supporters on the attack when they say is that, is that. A man told me as a strong foot soldier since June 23rd he ain't make $1. When he checked them, hear what they go say. You was wearing a green jersey one Sunday. I'm a strong supporter of the transformation agenda. It could be done with minimal errors, but tribalism and partisan politics messed up the Congress genetics. Mr. PM, you must stick to your promises. A lot of people voted you on these premises. How could you fool big people so? With pension, permanent, and more money galore. Now they're expecting you to deliver, but your conversation becomes so different. If your mind change, complain and tell us. Remember you are Grenada, Jesus. You promise happiness and better days, but we sing the opposite in many ways. Man, don't go down in record as the worst PM. The poor and needy, please don't neglect them. A burning silence deep within, quietly suffering, because you are labeled as a greed. You could not count your blessings. Sandra told me she's greatly disappointed. That's not what she expected, but she's sticking with she party, even though she grandma lose the 150. Jonah was giving them one, but you offered them two. They say when you don't have good food, you must take in front. So this is my Kaiso for the Masgra 2023. Make sure you all come out and support me. No politics, just Kaiso. Let's go. There is no place in the world like Grenada. Its people are so unique, so fabulous. They take politics real serious. You can't tell a man nothing wrong about his party. He'll deal with you so seriously, and from there on, you are his enemy. But as man, I must open my big mouth to lament on some things you know about. So the bother come attack me. Don't waste your time on a old jungle like me. Pie in the sky, promises and mama guy. Voters say their expectations were too high. Like the old proverb from way back long. You want to be wrong and strong. Some people bawling with their mouth closed. How they do that, only God knows. Man who could talk, they bawling with their jaws locked. I thought only dummies used to do that. A lady told me she's dying inside slowly, but she don't mind once it's NDC killing she. She say we had enough under Claudius. us. So nothing wrong if baby Jesus kill us. All those who claim that they love country more than party, the truth and reality is quite visual and so clear to see. Some things are morally wrong and unethical, are considered as politically essential. Their backs are against the wall, but you still can't tell them they're wrong at all. $2,000 increase on your salary, but you cut for people on by $150. I wonder who advising you. Old people go drag bam bam on you. You promise to improve standard of living, but I'm seeing more pain, hurt and suffering. Would you stop for a while and listen to me? Please don't send one more family into poverty. They're crying with their mouths closed. How they do that, only God knows. They're afraid to talk your supporters on the attack when they say is that, is that. A man told me as a strong foot soldier since June 23rd he ain't make $1. When he checked them, hear what they go say. You was wearing a green jersey one Sunday. I'm a strong supporter of the transformation agenda. It could be done with minimal errors, but tribalism and partisan politics messed up the Congress genetics. Mr. PM, you must stick to your promises. A lot of people voted you on these premises. How could you fool big people so? With pension, permanent, and more money galore. Now they're expecting you to deliver, but your conversation becomes so different. If your mind change, complain and tell us. Remember you are Grenada, Jesus. You promise happiness and better days, but we're seeing the opposite in many ways. Man don't go down in record as the worst PM. The poor and needy, please don't neglect them. A burning silence deep within, quietly suffering, because you are labeled as a green. You could not come to your blessing. Sandra told me she's greatly disappointed. That's not what she expected, but she's sticking with she party, even though she grandma lose the 150. Jonah was giving them one, but you offered them two. They took the bait and they voted for you. They say you focus on the rich and middle class, the lower strata, you don't care one ras. Now them outstretched long with fret and regret. They miss the little stipends they used to get. Faith and CJs, you kill them dead. Over 1,000 families lost their bread. You sent groundsmen home and told them reapply, but you know very well that was mama guy. Nobody in Spain source up no more. With pest and disease, that industry will never grow. I can't wait for the new MNIB. Farmers' money go be tall like coconut tree. They say people get too much a pension, all because of wrong calculations. But Mr. X did tell them already, in the land there's one mathematician. I told my partner to bring back the money, make the treasury look pretty with one salary. They don't bother with the lady up in High Street, so she come on Facebook and she excrete. People say NDC don't want no heart. How they coulda do them Haitians that? No.
And a good night to Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott, and I will be taking you up until the 10 o'clock hour.
On the nation's first, so
let me say a special good night off the bat to my lovely cousin Margaret. Hope you're having a wonderful night, cuz. Yeah, hope everything is going all well with you and the family. All right, and let me see. Yes, and also let me say a special good night to Miss Winifred Dick. Yeah, I hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. And let me see. Yeah, also want to say a special good night to Moulton. Yeah, starting with family tonight. Ira, good night to you. Uncle Bar, good night to you. Auntie Doreen, good night to you. I'm saying on both sides of the family. I'm saying good night to all my family first tonight. Or you could excuse me that for once in a while, isn't it? Yeah, or you could excuse me. I'll tell my family hello first for once in a while. Right, folks? So it is already 6 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. We want to get started early tonight. And I must first of all make an announcement. I had scheduled Senator the Honorable Norland Cox was supposed to be on with me tonight. But due to unforeseen circumstances, he's unable to join me tonight. No, not technical or so, and don't worry, he's okay. Right? Just something that he couldn't avoid came up. So he's unable to join us tonight. All right, but we still will be having a wonderful conversation. Got a lot of things to speak about. Yeah, we have a lot of things to speak about tonight. Just making sure the technical part is working well. Realize one or two things been kind of shaky in the few minutes leading up to the program. I realize, yeah, every now and again, a little problem. And so folks, those of you on the live, I know you usually let me know if you're having any problems. And so once you're seeing any problems on your end, let me know, because I may not necessarily be seeing it on my end. So once you're seeing any problems popping up, like the video sticking, or you're seeing things like that, or the audio is gone and that kind of thing, let me know. So we have to be checking on this end and we checking on the other end. And so here we want to make sure everything is running properly. Nice, good. Let me just say a special good night to you, Clive Raymond, Jacinta Livingston, Veronica Lewis, Deborah Laborde, Sky, Fitzroy Phillip, Matthew Boyne, Kathleen Ledlow, Adrian Watts, Kathleen Knights, Vanessa Lalji, Phyllis Mitchell, Hilary Joseph, Faithlyn, Hallie Douglas, good night to you, Gemma Warwood, Anne-Marie Celestine Grant, Alban Harris, Carl Jones, good night, and Anna Barbara Thomas, good life, good night, Beavis John, Veronica Nimrod, Henry Chaiton, Baby Daddy, Listra Abraham, I know you're there, Wilfred Devonish, all right, and let me see, Ann Andrews, Carl, there's a different Carl to Carl Jones, right, nice, good night to you, Public Notice, good night to you, Devin James, good night, Alcy Peters, good night, Stephen Simon, Keith Noel, Christine Otley, Stephanie John, Ron Julian, Michelle Alexander, Dave Felix, Eliza Bernard, Natalia John, Anastasia Peterson, Maria Marcel, Ron Julian, Oswald Belfont, Gavin Thomas, Jocelyn Matheson. I think I called your name before, but just in case, Jocelyn Matheson, you can't call a Karaku person name too much. Bernadette Filbert and Ron Julian, I'm seeing you there. Hazel, good night to you. Arlene Fletcher, good night. Magdalene Henry, good night to you. Andrea Alexander, Hillary Grenard, Nicole Hamilton, Robert Kishma, Dominic Antoine, Denise Joseph, good night to you. Cynthia Bartholomew, seeing all of you jumping onto the live and over on the Facebook. Let me say a special good night to you. Lola B, Langdon Jane, Tam Marshall, Dennis Fabio, Rodney Barry, Gillian Noel, Donna Hamilton, Doralyn Lead, good night to you. Renwick McQueen, Sherry Noel, June Julian, Joycelyn Francois, Davis Charles, Jill Williams, good night, yo, yeah, Rodney Barry, Natalia Tati John, good night, Dennis Fabio, let me see, Red Gull Pascal, Phyllis Ramsey, Sherms Hostin, Laslyn Douglas, Lydia Alexander and Cicely Julian, Kathy Pope, Jennifer Leonard, let me see, Charmaine Thomas, Nakisha Jones, Shawnell Gary, Raquel Charles, Cicely Celestine, Olive McEwen, Tegwa Tick, Kemita McPhee, Cindy Charles, Kishon McSween, Kemita McPhee, Natasha, no, it's Natasha, Shauna, George Cummings. I hope I pronounced your name properly. I hope I didn't slaughter it there. Joan Henry, good night to you. Renwick McQueen, did I say good night? But good night. And Kester, Victor, all of you, and the others just joining into the live. Yeah, hope you're having Ann Jackson, Wallan Akwat, I.E. Fletcher, good night to you. Sonia Price, Shemi Joseph, good night to all of you. Joyce, I'm looking for your message. I didn't see your message yet. Joyce, what me in church still? Right, Joyce, yeah, make sure and send the message and think, Joyce, what sticking tonight? Nice. So good night to each and every one of you and all of the listeners joining us via 91.9, 91.5. We say a very special good night to all of you and our listeners via Noise Radio. Yeah, we Noise 94.9 out there in Brooklyn. Be not afraid at all. April Fletcher, Marilyn Ferguson, Hazel Williams, Hazel and Isaac, Bernadette Filbert, good night to you, Miriam, Amanda Jeremiah, Gertrude Abraham, Cynthia Bartholomew, Janice Mitchell, good night.
Just as the longest road comes to a bend, so do the evil works of evil men found to soon to.
I know, I just love that song, Yeah, just before we get into the full discussion tonight, I just taking that one from the top. I want you all to listen to that song. Oh, Joyce, I know you must be there somewhere. Yes, just before, I want you all to listen to that song carefully, Yeah, listen to that song carefully. Lyrics were so. Just using the opportunity to make sure the system remains stable because I'm seeing a little jumpy there, yeah.
To live in a time when the rulers of men are scornful of principles of godliness, wisdom and freedom. But woe comes swiftly, man. But woe comes quickly. Yes, they use and abuse women, they raise no children. They live a life of wicked thoughts, corruption, embarrassment, and shame. So in order to power against the very forces of nature, they need to have the citizens living in fear. Man, but be not afraid, for there is your enemy. A man afraid to speak of what oppresses him, enslave himself to a man just like him. But be not afraid. Just as the longest road comes to a bend, so do the evil works of evil men found to soon to come to an end. I sing. what they do is wrong, and it's weighing their conscience down, because all men know that no man knows the hour. Man, but be not afraid, for there is your enemy. A man afraid to speak of what oppresses him, enslave himself to a man just like him. But be not afraid, for will come suddenly. I see, just as the longest road comes to a bend, so through the evil works of evil men found to soon to come to an end. I see.
Yes, indeed, folks. So let's get into it. Yeah. I'll play the song at the end of the program tonight for you all. Just before I go, yes, I'll take 2 minutes and play the song for you before the end of the night tonight. Because that song, believe me, and that song is not a new song, it's a song not even from Grenada. But it's a song like the man was looking at Grenada and writing that one. Yeah. Victimizing the people today because their party is in power. Yes, folks. I have been getting a lot of reports today, a lot of complaints today, a lot of tears have been shed between yesterday and today by a lot of our nation's children who wrote the CPEA exam. A lot of children, a lot of parents have been quarreling, are concerned, are worried, are wondering what in the world has taken place. Because they are trying to figure out how their children, who got scores out of 500, are 420 something, 430 something, and so in other words, they are in the top percentile. Yeah? They are supposed to be within the top 200 on the island. And their children have been placed in their third choice. Not even their second choice, Their third choice. So you had a lot of children who worked exceptionally hard. Children who stayed up late at night studying. Whose parents made the extra sacrifice for the lessons because there was a little weak in the arithmetic. So they sent them for classes in that. Or they sent them in a class to boost them up in relation to the literary skills. So they sent them for the classes. The parents did all that they were supposed to do. The children did all and above what they were supposed to do. And we even want to get to the teachers, many of whom gave of their time freely. Early in the morning, I saw one teacher speaking about when she was doing classes with her CPEA class early in the morning. In other words, the children would get there for 7. And they would do an early morning class apart from the day's instructions, and then still do an evening class after that for free, to ensure that at the end of it, they would have the joy of being able to see that one of their students were able to make it into the island's top 10 or the top 20 or the top 5, the number 1 on the island. They wanted that little piece of joy. And that has been taken away from them. So now you have a list that has been put out, and I want to congratulate all of the children, all. Yeah? All of the children, all of the parents, all of the teachers. So you have a list that has been put out that says these are the top 200 on the island, no scores. So no school has bragging rights right now. And what is wrong with a little bit of competition? If you find there's something in the law that was saying that what has been done over the years is wrong, all you had to do, the simplest and easiest thing for them to do, was to take the law back to Parliament. It is very, very easy to amend something like that. You just strike it out. You could have amended it. You didn't have to decide that and try to use that as an excuse for what has taken place now, because now many parents are out there and they're saying that some sort of corrupt thing took place in the practice, and they're pointing fingers at the Ministry of Education. So you have parents who are out there right now and they are saying that, look, they believe that some sort of corrupt thing take place, that is a favoritism thing, that students were selected based on who you know and not what they know. So that you have children that got to go particular schools based on who they know. If they knew somebody in the right place to make that little push for them, so that they were able to get to where they had to go, and not based on what they know. So you have children literally crying today, crying yesterday, parents trying to comfort them, teachers, some of them crying too, trying to comfort them. And the Ministry of Education seems to find that this is all well and okay. And I'm not even blaming the staff, because it has to be a policy decision, so I'm blaming the minister. I ain't Jude. I ain't trying to blame the staff. I'm blaming the minister. This could not have been done. The staff could not have made the decision that this is what they're going to do just like that. No, it doesn't work like that. There has to be a policy decision. And we know that a particular individual who was minister before, and we knew was in a quote-unquote advisory position to the Ministry of Education, which, because the government don't want to answer things, we don't know if that individual still holds an advisory position within that ministry. We knew that they attempted something like this before and what the outcome was. Yeah? You were forcing children into a system that was not prepared to receive them. Now, I don't think anywhere on our island we would find people who are saying that you should not give every child, the opportunity to enter into the secondary school system. But have the secondary schools been made ready to receive every child? I hear the talk about, yes, we need to go into the skills training and the technical components and so on. And the rush now, remember, everything with them is a rush. So the rush now, the rush that they're going to, so that over the holiday season now, they're going to have them doing extra classes with teachers, and then they're going to be calling in some of the students who are remedial, those who were sent to the secondary schools, who they very well know for the last how much years were not able to keep up with the numeracy and literacy skills. This brilliant Minister of Education, all you have, thinks that 2 or 3 weeks of intense classes with students who were unable to pass the CPA exam under normal circumstances, who went through all of the classes from infants come up and still cannot grasp basic concepts in literacy and numeracy. The brilliant Minister of Education we have right now thinks that 3 to 4 weeks of classes with these children will bring them up to scratch so that they can then enter the secondary school system. Let's give him a clap for brilliance. He's smart. Yes, they're in the primary school system. They've been unable to grasp it, but he has some sort of magic wand that in 3 to 4 weeks he will prepare them. Yeah, he has the magic formula so that these students will be prepared to go into the secondary school system. So he'll bring them up to scratch in that short space of time. With carnival going on and all the distractions and so on. And forget that, even if you didn't have all those distractions, how does you really think that classes in that short space of time will bring them up to scratch, that they can swim with the others within the secondary school system and not have to be thrown a life preserver because they're starting to flounder? Are they going to take the same students who lack the literacy and numeracy capacity and place them in the classes with the others so that they would be left back? So that when the teacher is going over now, some teachers ain't going back and say, well, okay, this one can't read properly, or they can't write properly, or they don't understand certain concepts in numeracy properly, so I'm going to go back and take time with that one and this one and so on. No. Because remember, the Caribbean educational system, I think a lot of times we look at Grenada's educational system as a standalone. No, it's a Caribbean system. It's an in and out factory. That's what we're creating here now in Grenada. That's what this Minister of Education is creating. An in and out factory. So you learn, you don't learn, you're passing through. No matter what, you have to be in a school up until the age of 18. So you're in, and once you're in, nothing to take you out. You're in school up until the age of 18. Again, I do have a problem with that, but where are the structures that you are putting in place to be able to cope with that? Where are the structures? Have all the secondary schools been outfitted with the proper skills training labs for some of the things that you're saying that these students ought to be doing? If you're going to focus on skills, so you're going to focus on plumbing, if you're going to focus on welding or joinery, yeah? If you're going to be focusing on all these different things, have labs been put in place? Have teachers who are going to be teaching these things been placed in all of the secondary schools? And it's not just the males. Remember, you have females too. So have you expanded on the home economics, or whether it's some other aspect that you expect the females who may not be performing well academically and may want to go into either being a seamstress, or they want to go into being a chef or something? Have they expanded the labs in the schools, all of the secondary schools, to be able to take that intake that they're going to be having? And are these students going to be placed into a class for themselves, or are they going to be attached to other classes? Let me ask that again. In the United States, students make mockery of other students that they say come to school in the short bus. Those of you in the United States know what I'm speaking about. They make a mockery of students who they say the slow ones who come to school on a special bus. They call it the slow bus, the short bus. They come into school on a short bus, a smaller bus, or a special bus to pick them up, and they make fun of them. Children can be very cruel. And that's not a 2023 thing. That is since caveman days. That's how children are. That's how human beings are. Yeah, they can be very cruel. What are the structures have they put in place in all of the schools? The proper counseling structure? Have they put in place the proper security measures? Because I remember in 2013 speaking to several principals and teachers, and you had that problem where many of these children who went into the secondary school system ended up being the disruptive elements because they were looking for the excuse to get kicked out of the class. So don't feel less stupid, Yeah, they hat trick too. It's no such thing as a stupid child. They just have different skills and they learn at different paces. So they want to get kicked out of the class. You ain't putting them in sit down in no class and tell them go and learn about physics or trigonometry or arithmetic, and they want to hear them kind of thing. So they would be disruptive in the class in the hope that they will get suspended and be exactly where they want to be. Home for 3 days, home for 2 weeks, whatever. That's where they want to be in the first place. So they try to get kicked out. And in the process, they're disrupting other students who are not involved in that type of behavior. And they're disruptive because they cannot pick up at the same pace as the others. Has that been taken into consideration? Have the emotions of the children who prepared all this last year, don't think it's just in the last few weeks before the exam they prepared. For the last year, they have been preparing. Yeah? Since they were in the grade before, they were preparing the last 2 grades, they're preparing. And now to tell them that they decided they want to go here. And that's why parents right now out there cussing saying, well, it's corruption in the whole thing. They remind me of a song years ago in Trinidad that Krokro sang, Corruption in Common Entrance. Because back in Trinidad, back in the 1980s, if you were of a particular race, and this is facts, they are not being racial. If you were of a particular race or you carried a particular surname, it would determine which school you were allowed to attend. And back in those days, they had the junior sec and the senior sec in Trinidad. You all see what's going on in Trinidad now, eh? So they had the junior sec and they had the senior sec. So you would go, you were poor people children, you don't have one of them big names, so your name's Scott, and you're from a ghetto area, bet your bottom dollar you're going to a junior sec. Yeah, the voice started to go there. Bet your bottom dollar you would be going to a junior sec. That is what was happening. In fact, you know what? Let me sort the voice out and come right back.
Corruption in common entrance. Thinking vile, and me a trying to protect my child, but corruption is a constant annoyance, going on too long in common entrance. You don't have to be intelligent, that is a lie. Your father must pull a good string with complexion high. Your child could be bright like a ball man from Laventille. Forget holy names, convent and bishops and steam, because they have to pick Lahadev, Buddha, Krishna Maharaj, because Arjun and Saj Pada, Vikaraj, Chaiti Bisuni Moli and Purmani, the brother, sister, son and Narwani, Hadid Montano, Sagan, Abraham, they pick so much picture, children they get sham. When they full them pictures, go right up to the net, they send all them poor to the junior sec. Go to the high class, in the class, la 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 la. Go to the high class, in the.
Yes, indeed. Right, I'm right back. Yeah, you know, sometimes the truth does give some problems every now and again. But yeah, so this is some of the things that you've been seeing happening. You've been having parents complaining because when they see the scores that their children got, they know that these children ought to be in the top percentile, but you know what? They can't tell because there's no way that they can compare with other schools and so. So there's this belief among many of the parents that what has taken place is a serious piece of corruption. I'm saying it as they say it. They're saying it seems as though your child get to go to a particular school based on what, or not what they know, but who they know. And not the child, the parents. Yeah? So it seems that that is what is going on. I'm telling you how the parents feel. There was absolutely no need, none, to rush this move. You see, everything is a rush. Because they want to say, we achieved that in the first year. So they wanted to be able to come and stand up in town hall meeting and so on and tell people, well, yes, we provided universal education to all the children of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique in our first year. That's what they just wanted to be able to say it. Because you see, they're into gimmicks. They're not into the reality. But the children right now feeling the results of the gimmicks. Because you have a lot of children that hug up the pillow sleeping tonight with tears in their eye. Because of what has been done to them. There was no need to implement it. Absolutely no need to implement. And don't tell me nothing about no law in place that says that you could go and change it. They could have go in parliament. There's go in parliament for all kind of nonsense. They could have go in parliament and change it. They could have easily go to the legal drafting unit and said, we have a problem with this. We realize that we are in breach of it. It's either we modify it or we remove it or we strike it out, whatever. They could have gone to the legal drafting department and asked them to do that. So to come and say that there's a law in place and we was in breach of the law and all kind of thing. Nonsense. You are in office. You have 2/3 majority in the House of Representatives right now. You have no excuse. There was no reason to do this to people's children right now. And now it shows a shade. It shows a sort of shadow over the whole process, because now people are saying it seems as though it's who you know to get into a particular school, and not based on how bright your child is, not based on how hard your child study, not based on how much emphasis you gave to your child that they should study hard, and there's a prize at the end of it. Yeah? So where we going to next? So we're having, according to one particular teacher, so they're not having quiz again because apparently it is going to hurt children emotionally. If they go to a quiz and they don't win, they're going to be so hurt emotionally, it's going to scar them for life. So that we can't do quizzes again. So you can't have no quiz competition. But it didn't seem that we should have sporting competitions either. Because when children lose and some win, it seems as though it's going to be hurtful to them to the point of where you have to be worried. You can't bother to go and, I mean, there's a problem. That is definitely an issue. You can't treat children like that. They could have, if they wanted to do it, they could have said, listen, we are going to do that next year. You could have sent out all the scores and everything, you know. And you could have decided that we are going to call all those who didn't go into the secondary school system. We're going to place them in the secondary school system this year, but allow those who work hard over the last, not year, as I see somebody mentioned just now, they said it's a 7-year process from kindergarten to grade 6. You could have at least awarded them, rewarded them by saying we're doing this year, but it's the last year we're doing it. So the next group of students who are coming up know that, hey, we're not going to be hearing that our school is top on the island or that kind of thing, but we need to make a particular score to get which school we want to go into. And that's going to be between us and the Ministry of Education, not necessarily us and the island. At least they would go into the exam knowing that. But after poor people children go and write the exam and go and do all of that, that is when you all do this kind of thing to them. So you ain't expect people to say some kind of corruption taking place within the ministry when that happen. That's how somebody have a family there, and that is why they end up in that school, and that is why they end up in this school, and so on. You ain't expect that's the kind of thing gonna happen? Come on, man. All you have to fix that thing. And then to lie to the Grenadian people, saying that's how you had consultation with the teachers, when the teachers are saying clearly that there was no consultation with them. And let me see if I could get that. Because the teachers are saying clearly, they say there was no consultation with them in relation to this issue. Yeah? So let me see if I could get that and play it for you.
Yes. How are teachers accepting this initiative?
We had, at the ministry, thank you, Rena, we had consultations with principals of primary schools and the principals of secondary schools, and we got overwhelmingly positive response from those principals because they live in the systems, they understand the challenges, they hear it all the time, and in fact, many of their schools feel the pressures of the spill-off from how we treat with the results. And so we got good support from all of the principals, both primary and secondary schools, that we engaged on this matter, so I'm happy to report that. We did not get a chance to engage parents, but you would recognize that there's a short window, and I'm not sure we can always get the time to consult to the extent, because the truth is we are charged with the responsibility to create a policy position, and we are confident we are acting legally, we are acting supported by the law, we are acting in the interest of the children, in the interest of the schools, in the interest of the parents. So I don't even think we'd have a real question or worry about the soundness of the decision, but we did consult some of the key education stakeholders, the principals.
So we heard the minister saying there that they did consult some of the key education stakeholders, the principals. That's what we heard him saying that. The minister said that they consulted some of the key stakeholders, right? But let's see if they really speak to the key stakeholders. Let me see what Judas had to say. I mean, Jude had to say in relation to that. Sorry, right now. Let me see what Jude had to say in relation to that.
And hearing from principals who voice their concern, there are a lot of principals who are unhappy about the situation. There are a lot of teachers who are unhappy about the situation. If we really think about it, what had happened? The Grenada Union of Teachers have been motivating, really and truly, since the end of the work to rule and everything like that, encouraging our teachers, inspiring our teachers to really and truly to go the extra mile to teach the children with the examination classes at the primary, secondary school level, and we would have done everything that we had to do in terms of getting teachers to really and truly adequately prepare the children. And when we would have done that now, when results, you may say, are about to come out, the Ministry of Education, they bypass the Grenada Union of Teachers, never engage the Grenada Union of Teachers in any form of consultation, any form of discussion about the non-ranking of students. Students are looking forward to that, to be ranked. That is something that has been happening. Forget about the law, even if the Ministry of Education is saying, well, that is in the law, wherever that they shouldn't rank. Precedents have been set. That's something that the Ministry of Education have been doing for a few years now. And if precedents have been set, schools look forward to be ranked, students look forward to be ranked. In fact, in other exams that we do, coming up exams for summer exams, they rank the students. And students look forward. The precedents have been set in ranking the first 200 students. Everybody would like to know the position, how the children do. Parents would like to know. Students would like to know. Teachers would like to know. The GUT would like to know. And we're not saying that that should not have been a discussion on the table, but it is rather very disrespectful for the Ministry of Education to just go about this thing. We had months and months probably to discuss that, and they never did it. Just before the result came out now, they went and meet with principals, engage, and to say to the nation, what's about the other partners? The partnership in that the Ministry of Education boasts about and want to go forward with the new transformation agenda in education, is that's the way they want to really and truly show it. So we're not happy about it today. I got calls from principals, and in the background you can hear students, they're so disappointed, they are crying, they are saying tears because of the situation. They want to know. Sometimes, a parent might promise a child, well, you come first or you come second. Business entities, they give scholarship based on the ranking of the students and those things, and business places, other partners or entities have been preparing for that. So even if the Ministry of Education want to go that direction in not ranking the student, we don't think that this year you dialogue, you plan, and you look at the pros and cons and everything like that, and going forward incrementally, you should have been more prepared in a position to do that.
So it's not me that say, that's the key stakeholder right there, Because like him or don't like him, Mr. Jude Bartholomew is the president of the Grenada Union of Teachers. He is the person that represents each and every teacher on the island and the principals as well. So when the minister said that they speak to the key stakeholders, he lie. But we know all of them are custom lying, but one by one you see the lie. Who does say big dog and then says big boy? They don't know the difference between dog and boy, so them have a problem in life already. But all of them is lie, 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 and more lie. Like it's a competition of who could lie more or who could give the best lie. Like it's a lying competition. It's just lie, 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 lie. Starting the song like a Trinidad parang. Lie, 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 lie. Yeah? Because it is clear from the president of the Teachers Union that what was said by the minister is one thing when it comes to the area of truth. Because, like them or don't like them, care about them or don't care about them, agree with them or don't agree with them, the Grenada Union of Teachers is the bargaining agent on behalf of the teachers. And if you're having a discussion in relation to something that's going to affect their profession in a significant way as this, then you ought to have had that discussion with the teachers. The president of the Teachers Union is correct. I never thought that I find myself on my program saying that. But the president of the teachers union is correct. How could you go and do something like that? And in the time that they do it, you didn't say, okay, before the exam. So children go into the exam knowing, well, don't expect too much after they'll just announce what school you're going to. They wait until after the children go and sit down and write the exam, And when the children waiting on the results and the results about to reach, or who knows, the results probably had reached already because we realized results come out last week in another country and this week in Grenada. And then you're making those announcements. Come on, man. Something definitely had to be wrong with these people again. Rushing. Everything's a rush. Just to be able to say, we did this or we do that. And not thinking out things clearly. So they're running down the path and not looking to see if it mind. They're not looking to see if it's a snake at the side, if it's a booby trap. They ain't looking to see. They're just running down crazy. And not planning properly. Not looking. Not discussing with other people who walk down the road. Hey, where you see down the road there, Papa? People was passing okay. It didn't have fellas robbing fellas on the road there. Everything good. They ain't even asking. It's just running down the road. So they refuse to speak to the stakeholders. And that is clear from what you've heard from the president of the Teachers Association. So Minister Andrew, you lie. And I find every week now we had to come here and just say, they lie. We had a minister speaking recently about medication. He lie. Up to today, I see it again. Today, people had to send to buy medication in town. Yes, those are you who was around. You know how to talk about it. Today. And then when you hear some of the stories, and I'm going to switch a little bit right now. When you hear some of the stories that I heard today, out of that general hospital, Papayo, it's much worse than I thought. Because, we've spoken about medication. And the lack of medication and the fact that there's no medication and so on. The fact that you have people that have died because the family had to run and buy medication and get medication. Sometimes they don't get the medication in time. Different things I've been hearing stories over the weekend again outside of the one that I spoke about on Thursday. I've been hearing other stories. Yeah? So we've spoken about the medication. We've spoken about the facilities themselves, and we know that is a continuing problem. Over the years, you've had issues with the facilities. That is why you did what you did with the accident and emergency. People can be housed there, records and everything is there. You have the CT scanner and everything there and so on. So that is why you were in the process of improving. You've also put money in the budget over the last few years to fix some of the health centers. Some have been repaired. You've seen the one built up in St. Mark, and so you've seen this facility built in St. John. You're seeing other health centers that are being repaired and so on around the island. Right, so that has been taking place. So we spoke about the facilities. We spoke about the situation with medicine. We spoke about the situation with the nurses. And the fact that our medical facilities are now understaffed because many nurses have decided to go. Yeah? And we know, yes, you don't have to tell us that. We know nurses was going last year and year before and the year before that. But it has gotten to a critical point right now. Because if you keep emptying the water tank, and the water tank keep going down and going down and going down, eventually it will be empty unless you're filling it back. But this government has not been focusing on how to fill the tank back. They have been focusing on blaming the other government for having opened the pipe a little too much before, and they just wouldn't close the pipe. So the tank going down and down and down, and now you have nurses frustrated because they have to work back-to-back shifts when they should have been going home to their family and going home and take a rest and so. And I'm not saying that as an excuse for nurses for the behavior that you see from some of the nurses, but on a level we have to understand, because imagine you as a human being, you have your family at home, you want to go home. There you are providing care to sick individuals, people who, and you know some people could be real misagreeable when they are sick. I am one of them. I just give real trouble. When I'm sick, I just give trouble. Right? So you have people that just give a lot of trouble when they're sick. And the nurses have to deal with that. They might be able to deal with it for a few hours. But when it comes to the fact that another day finds them there because they can't go home because there's nobody coming to relieve them. And they just can't leave the patients there, so they stay on. You could understand the psychological impact of that on them, having to work these long hours. So there is a problem when it comes to the nurses. And again, I'm not using that to say that's an excuse for certain behaviors you're hearing of and the rough attitude in which some nurses treat people. But sometimes we have to understand from their perspective too. We're dealing with human beings. It's not animals we're dealing with. Yeah? It's not computers we're dealing with. These are people with emotions and feelings, and they just get tired too. So you have to understand that, right? So we understand about the medication and the situation with the medication. We understand, we spoke about the situation with the facilities. We spoke about the situation with the nurses. But you know, we've never really spoken about the situation with the doctors. And I started hearing some stories. I've started hearing some stories today. Brothers and sisters, yeah, I started hearing some stories today in relation to what is taking place with doctors. Because the doctors there, you know. So while you're hearing about we need to sort out police officers, we need to sort out teachers, we need to sort out nurses. Let us hear them talking about sorting out doctors. Have we really ever heard them, or even anybody, speaking seriously about, well, what's taking place with the doctors? Are we trying to retain the doctors that we have? Because right now, we're getting to a critical point when it comes to doctors as well. Because you have situations where doctors who are on call, who are supposed to be overseeing a particular ward, are being called and told to go to emergency to hold on because there's no doctor in the emergency room. So sometimes this might be a doctor that just do a back-to-back and being told, come and go in the emergency room. So when I hear some of the stories now coming out of the interactions between some doctors and patients at the emergency room, I get a clearer understanding, because in a lot of instances, there's no remuneration attached to the time that they're spending in the emergency room. That is additional work because they're actually still on call on a ward and they're being sent to do a second job. And there's no remuneration behind that. They're not being paid for that time there. So you have a situation where many doctors are preparing to leave. Yeah, they're looking for opportunities. There are many doctors who have already qualified to work other places, you know. And they are looking to leave. But instead of admitting that these are the problems and saying these are the solutions we are looking at together with the doctors, you have the present administration just totally ignoring them. All is well and good, and Lako just hiding. Just hiding. Coming out every now and again to wring his hand and turn his eye up in the thing and kind of turn his tongue when he talking. That's the only thing he's good for. Because as a minister of health, he has failed. Let me repeat it. Because just in case those who copy in and want to make the memes, I want them get it properly. Lacret fail. Time for him to go. I mean, the whole government should go. But in case all you want to go one time, kick he out first. Get somebody that's competent to hold the ministry. Because the Ministry of Health is in chaos. And the minister lied to us. In fact, you had the Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance, and the leader of government business in the house lied to us. But the Minister of Health himself lied to us. When it comes to the situation with medicines in the hospital, he lied to us again. Lie. These are the people that say this pastor and all kind of thing, and they must go to church and follow them. Lie. Come on, there's nothing to be lying about. All you have to do is say, look, this is the problem. Assure people, this is how we're going to solve the problem. This is what we're doing. Instead of that, the minister just hiding. Duck and hide. Duck and hide. Yeah? So now you have the situation with the doctors looking to leave the service. There are doctors that already have undated letters of resignation typed up and everything, and it's just to put in the date, the signature there and all, just to put in a date and hand it in. once they have confirmed employment elsewhere. And while that situation occurs, and you have the opportunity to buffer the Grenadian health sector by trying to get medical professionals out of Cuba, the Cuban people who are in Grenada, who are trying to visit Grenada, and who have done so much for Grenada, are being treated with contempt and disdain by the present administration. Yeah? That is clear to see. Because if the Cubans can say they want the Minister of Health to come to Cuba, they know Grenada have issues. They have nurses, they could provide nurses. They have doctors, they could provide doctors to the Grenadian health system. And if they are saying that they're willing to do that and they ask the minister to come and prepare everything for him to come and he don't come, then that's showing disrespect to them. We have a call online. I didn't say the line's open, but I'm taking the calls. Good morning. Good afternoon, actually.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening. Yes, you're a live caller. Go right ahead.
Yeah. Remember the time, at the time they say, those who are too old, time for the to go and in that time now. So at the end of the day now, I want you to look for the clip where they say how many more must die. How many more?
All right, my brother.
Find the song, how many more must die.
Okay, no problem, my brother. And let me just say, I can't play song requests because if I do, then my Facebook page and my YouTube page is flagged, and then I could find that the program is shut down. So I just can't play. Yeah, a lot of people that say, play this song and play that song. No, if it's copyrighted, I have a problem. I can't play it because the pages will be shut down. But this is the situation that we're having now. So outside of the situation with the nurses, we need to start having the conversation about what is taking place with our doctors. So yes, you give a 400 and something extra to the nurses. Well, not really that, because by the time they take it out, yeah, they take out taxes. Some of them qualify for taxes that they didn't qualify for before, and they lose money instead of make money. Yeah? So that end up affecting some in a negative way. But outside of that, what is taking place with the doctors? Have you heard that doctors get increased? Have you heard any benefits going towards the doctors? I'm telling you what the doctors themselves saying. Not what Sheldon saying. I'm telling you what the doctors themselves. Yeah? The Supremos, the real deal at the hospital next to the nurses. Well, everybody play an important part. But the doctors themselves, because that's who you go to see. You go to see a doctor. Has anything been said for the doctors? Have we been hearing of any benefits going towards the doctors? Have we been hearing that doctors are so happy and everything, and that they're looking to... And you know, the doctors are afraid to speak for themselves, because I could say it, but doctors are afraid to talk. Because when they talk, they find themselves transferred to somewhere they really don't want to be, because there's always this constant problem when it comes to the Princess Alice Hospital. Doctors generally who live in town don't want to work in Princess Alice. They do everything possible to not have to work there. The reason being, they have to travel up to St. Andrew and travel back down and so on. They just don't want to work there. There are doctors who were sent to Carriacou. They were supposed to be working in Carriacou at Princess Royal and basically refused me and going up there. No, I'm not going and working in Carriacou. So you have these situations already with doctors. And you're seeing an opportunity through the government and people of Cuba where you can get doctors, where you can get nurses. And you're telling me the minister sit down here and don't go? So if the Cubans ask the Minister of Health to come for, they ask him to come for his health? They ask him to come for the health of each and every one of us. Because if he had gone, at least he could have negotiated and said, well, okay, we need a specialist in this field. We need at least 3 gynecologists or 4 gynecologists. We need a cardiologist. Yeah? We need an ophthalmologist. We need an ENT specialist. He could have at least asked for some of these areas to get some specialists so that we could have had them here. We need a surgeon. Yeah? We need a vascular surgeon. You could have at least asked the Cuban government. If you ain't get all, you might have get some. And it would be better than getting none, which is what they're getting now. Because you even have a situation with an elderly Cuban couple. In fact, from what I'm hearing, the Cubans that were coming into Grenada and they were given hell to enter Grenada. And from what I'm hearing, these are some of the people that were involved in building the same airport where they was giving them hell to enter. All you hear what I say? Cubans who helped build the airport. The same people, the actual people who helped build the airport during the time of the revolution, was trying to enter Grenada and was getting problems. And it's just a long line of disrespect since this administration has come into power to the people of Cuba. And if you have to get help with your health system right now, if you have to get help, if you have to get doctors, if you have to get nurses, they can help. They are people that can send people to buffer and to help us here. And we have a caller on the line. Good night.
Hey, Brother Sheldon, good night.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm okay, man.
Okay, go right ahead.
Yeah, Brother Sheldon, to the point this morning, Dr. Morris was on to the point this morning, talking about the situation about health concerning medication. All right? What she was saying, it's time the government needs to put it out together in health. Because she was saying, like, if you don't have money, like, it's typical thing, like, if you owe someone and you don't have money, you don't have enough money, once you want to talk to them and negotiate with them, you could still get what you want, okay? Right? So she was saying that the government could use to do that. Could I do that and go and get medication, right? But what they did, they don't know, they sit on and wait, right? When medication run out, and then they were trying to blame the previous government. But one thing I want to let the Grenada people know, whenever government go, there is there to pay. And no government should not complain about like that, not them, but other previous government. Every government that was in power, they leave there for other government to pay, and they have to pay because it's not a party that get money. It's like the government Grenada. So any government coming in, they had to pay the debt from the previous government. And some callers was call the program talk about the shrimp farm. I said that what is he talking about? Well, I want to ask you several questions to the caller who was calling this morning. If your mother, your father, your sister, your brother sick, and you end up in hospital, and they get medication, and there is no medication, what will you see? Will you feel happy about that? You will talk about the shrimp farm, talking about shrimpness. What you should do as supporters is to encourage the government to get medication. So in case the old people was calling this morning, the family or cousin they end up here, so they have medication for them. But you know, they don't want to speak about the issue. They want to show talk. Talk as they do in Japanese, which is if they do interest towards the health of the people who are going to compete in Martinique. Alright? So Brother Shelley, I want to say we have to stay focused and speak about the issue and the bread and water. Again, Brother Shelley, when you look at benefit, we want to see people who I see benefiting from the government is the upper class of people, the business people, right, and the government. Because look at what happened. They don't even work a month yet. Ministers receive $2,000 not on the salary. They put it on traveling allowance. They give these industries of $400, right, or $400 or $500. What happened? The industries didn't have to pay tax, but now they put that they have to pay the tax now. Why? Let's say even the industries didn't have transportation. Why didn't give them the $400 on travel allowance? So even they give them the $400 or $500 on travel allowance, they will have to pay tax. But they put it on the salary. So eventually they end up to pay tax. So like you give in one hand and take it back in the other hand. And this is what this government doing. Right? And whenever in this government, the health situation never improve. It gets worse and worse every day. Every Grenada becoming a standstill whenever in this government, because all what they're doing is to helping the big boys, and they forgetting poor class of people. So even the soldiers and them who work hard for the NDC turn them back on them. They don't care about them. So you see what the NDC doing? They're using the poor class people to vote for them. When they get what they get, they just leave them or say they turn them back on them. But I want to get people to remember the track record of the NDC government. Never forget. Yes, you can forgive, but never forget what the attitude of NDC whenever the government.
All right, thank you. 4407377. That's the number for you to call and get on the inside. You can call us directly or you can call us on the WhatsApp. All right, let me see. I think I have a caller on the WhatsApp. Hello, good night. Hello. Caller on the WhatsApp. Hello, good night. Oh boy, it seems as though the caller is not hearing me for some reason. Hello? Okay, so we may have to, let me restart the WhatsApp and see if that can solve that problem, all right? Yeah, there seems to be, yeah, it's stuck. Yeah, the WhatsApp is stuck. So I've got to close the WhatsApp and restart. So I'll take the straight calls and then I'll take the WhatsApp calls afterwards. 440-7377. That is the number to call and get onto the inside. And just in case, let me make sure, yeah, you understand? Sometimes you have to refix the thing, you understand? So let me reset that and see if that is going to help with the situation with that as well. 440-7377. For those of you outside of Grenada, 347-329-3101. And let me say a special good night to all the listeners out there in Canada. Patricia and Matthew, good night to both of you. My good friend Ian, I know you're out there and you're listening. All my other friends and so out there in Canada, special good night to you. Those of you in Virginia, those of you in Maryland, those of you in Washington, D.C., those of you down there in Florida, those of you in North Carolina, South Carolina, Arizona, California, Texas, wherever you are, I say a special good night to each and every one of you. We've got a call online. Good night.
Chelan, good night.
Good night, my dear. You're live. Go right ahead.
I listen to your program every night.
All right.
But I want to tell you something about the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I have a sister who comes in the hospital. What is that? She do a surgery. And today she called me and she tell me, she says, sis, you know, my belly started to hurt me. So when the belly started to hurt me, she served her and she vagina. One amount of galls they live inside of the young. When she called the nurse, the doctor told her, show up your hand and see if you have any more. That is too much of carelessness to the doctors in the hospital. He only could have passed away. That is not right. And they have no medication because the day they call me to come and back, get the blood, breathe on the carnage and get medication to bring back in the hospital. You have nothing up there. So don't let them come on the TV like they come and say lie for people. You have nothing in the hospital. No medication at all in the hospital. That is my concern tonight.
All right, my dear. Thank you. And while what the caller may have said may be graphic, it is an example of what happens if you're not staffing properly. Now, here's what, there may be good doctors, there may be good nurses, but if you expect them to operate like robots, to work day after day, back to back, doing double shifts and so on, they will make mistakes. That is why internationally, they have a certain amount of hours that people in certain specialities should be on duty. So doctors have a specified amount of time that they should work. I can't remember it off the top of my head. In the same way that they have a certain doctor to population ratio, doctor to patient ratio, doctor nurse to patient ratio, right? They also have specified numbers of hours that these individuals can work so that their mind remains sharp and they don't make errors like that because it can cause people to lose their life. No, I am not making excuses. I'm just saying what the reality is. They are human beings. And if they are forced into that position that they have to work sometime 48 hours, you can't see your home yet. Because you work at 8 to 4 and then you have to work again, back to that you have to work. These individuals psychologically, physically, mentally will not be able to do a lot of the things that they ought to be able to do. All right, let me see if I've got the WhatsApp working now or if I have to restart the whole machine. Let me see if I'm getting through with the WhatsApp. No. Come on, let me see. Nice. Let me see. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening. Yeah, the WhatsApp is on the fritz again. Yeah, it seems as though the WhatsApp is misbehaving again tonight. We'll sort it out. Yeah, we'll have to sort that out because the machine itself seems to be running slow. I'm not sure it's the WhatsApp, but the machine itself that the WhatsApp is on is running slow tonight. So I'm going to have to try to take the calls directly as much as possible. All right. So let me just restart that machine in the interim. So hopefully that would solve that problem. Yeah. So let me just see how I can do that. Right. Yeah. 440-7377. So let's try this number. Hello. Good night.
Mr. Scott.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Not too bad, not too bad. But how come GIS show us we watching from the diaspora and we watching GIS showing that this ship with these drugs, everything for the hospital is here on land and Grenada. I don't understand that. And then I hearing you saying, people calling in and saying, something is wrong. They got to get this thing right. Because if you have GIS is telling the world and showing ships on the dock, a few days ago, that means what they're telling us, look, there's a ship with all the drugs on it.
No, which drugs?
I don't know.
Because the last thing I see on the port was drugs, was a blue barrel, and it wasn't drugs that people should be using.
But I don't understand. GIS bring out a report because that's what the government gives to them. Tell them the drugs is on island. And I don't understand how Grenadian people is not talking about it. GIS showed us a clip, I think it's 2 or 3 days ago, that the drugs is on the island.
Which drugs?
So the medication for the hospital. So I don't understand what's going on.
What they used to call the radio station during the days of Sir Eric Gary just before the revolution? What was the name of the radio station back then? You ain't gonna say it on air. But you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, man. Come on, man. Everybody sitting down, coming up to the 1 year thing and sitting down and having an interview, everything so nice. And the questions we have to ask the Prime Minister, we're not asking him those questions. You understand? We cannot run the country like that. You understand? You're talking about the pension and about the month-to-month thing and, and all kind of everything. But people are getting sick and people need help. That's what's important. And the Prime Minister has to be a good listener. You only could learn by being a good listener. Not by saying, well, we just get into government and you didn't know this and we didn't. You understand me? But the former Prime Minister offered to stretch out a hand and, and give you help. If you need help, no, nothing wrong with that. Swallow your pride. If we make mistakes, we make mistakes. We're going to get up and try again. That's what the country wants to see and hear. You're not just, doing what you want and making excuses and excuses. You understand? We know you're the new government. We expect you to make, some sort of failure. But accept the failure and move on. You understand? Call your ministers in a room and talk to them. You understand? And say, look, we are new. 90% of us never run nothing yet. So, let me get it going. We're going to make mistakes. Let the Grenadian people know they're going to make mistakes. You understand me? Call the press conference. Listen to them. You're saying when you have your interview with GBN or GIA, how you call them, you're saying, yes, well, we this and that. But you're not coming to the people. Come to the people and talk to them. They don't expect you to do 100%. For goodness sake, man. Come on, guys. Anyhow, Sheldon, you have a good one.
Thank you so very much, my brother. And you enjoy the rest of your day today. Well, the rest of your night. All right. 4407377. I'll have the WhatsApp up in about 5 minutes time, but you can call me directly, 4407377 and 347-329-3101. I know someone was calling me on the local line a while ago, but I was on the other call. So let me see if I can get that call right about now. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night, Brother Sheldon. How you doing?
Hey, I'm quite fine, actually.
Wonderful, wonderful. Brother Sheldon, I find it does take too long to recognize my voice. You have to get familiarized with such a voice.
The buzzing, man, the buzzing.
Yes, man, you're getting familiarized with Rolo, but you're not getting familiarized with the Mosky.
Don't feel I wouldn't play Rolo just now, and I'm playing something from Mr. Rolo just now.
Exactly. Sheldon, I would say this with no apology. And sometimes we have to look at it from this kind of perspective. Sheldon, if you never have experience in working as a public servant or working under any ministry or working, you never experience. And for whatever reason, you just jump in politics. You give us a two-lie as Grenadian citizens. And so be it, people fall for it and they happens to vote for you. What do you expect is going to happen? Right? You are going to have a ship without a captain. Now, I am speaking in reference to a caller that just made a statement in regards to apparently the leader of the NDC should pull his team together and try to, give them some schooling. My friend, the leader can't even lead himself. What makes you feel that he would lead the people behind him? The leader is still a follower. The leader is still a follower. He cannot lead anything. These people are a bunch of chemists experimenting. What work, what don't work, just don't work. You understand? Take for instance again, I just did a program a while ago. I just did a program on the buzz because the classroom could not have come on today.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to say it. If you're having certain people in high-profile positions cannot pass what we call semesters, over 4 semesters. Since 2012, they're doing that semester. They're doing that course. We are in 2023. Sheldon, what do you expect? It's a bunch of failures what's in government. I mean, of course, if you spell the word fail and you abbreviate it, you would understand what it means. Because a lot of people just look at the word fail as a bad word. But I just look at the word fail as a very good word. Because fail in abbreviated terms means first attempt in learning. But these people have no first-hand experience. Then I'm trying to figure it out. You understand? People have to go to pharmacy, get prescription in hospital, to go in pharmacy to actually buy medication. I mean, come on. When you look at Monge, the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I am still baffled. I'm still baffled. And I'm still worried because I'm deeply worried but saddened for the people of this country. And like I told them a while ago, if all you think that this 1 year were bad, my friends, sisters, brothers, we have 4 more years to go. And this would be 4 more years of hardship.
What?
We would have to be, we would force to grapple.
Muskie, you think we're going and stay and let them men and them stay there for 4 years to continue doing this, man? Oh, gosh, man. Muskie,
listen to me. Listen to me. Lucky Dube say we were born to suffer. But I believe that this government had win to keep the Grenadian citizens in a suffering position. And I'm hoping that the people, the relevant people, supporters of the NNP, start mobilizing the troops, start doing things different. Don't just focus on Deacon and them. You understand? Don't focus on the Prime Minister and them. That is a waste of time. We have seen certain things that they already done already. It doesn't take us 9 months to actually see what they're doing. We need to start mobilizing. We need to start speaking differently. Start speaking differently. Get people to register. Convince people. You understand? Try to get people to understand what this government is doing. They say they're not going to send more Imanis. We are seeing Imanis going home. For relief, the seed program, we are seeing 150 coming out. We are seeing people who is 70 years and 80 years, they are claiming that is not qualified. Where you ever learned that? And still coming on national television and say it's prank calls. And there's a certain program that preach the NDC agenda, that always try to promote NDC as though, well, a matter of fact, it's two that try to promote the stupidness that NDC is doing. I am saying, people, let us wake up. Let us wake up. It's not too late to wake up, but let us wake up.
And do the work.
And do the work.
And do the work.
Exactly, we have to do the work. Sheldon, I want to find out what the Grenadian people really vote for. Did they vote for this for when their families go to the hospital, they cannot get antibiotics, that they have to left to be dead? What did they vote for? For the families who are working in the different ministries because they might be politically aligned to a particular party, or maybe they assume that they're politically aligned, that they are victimized and sent home. Huh? Some of us might have people that are mentally deranged, and is it monkey? We have a lack of staffing. We have a lack of equipment, proper equipment. You understand? So I am asking the question, is that what we vote for? Is that what we vote for, where we are seeing brain drain in the country? Pretty soon we are going to see more local doctors and nurses are leaving. This is bad. This is bad for our health sector. And I'm calling on Minister Lactogen. You are like skim milk, right? That Minister of Health, Lacko. You like skim milk. All of a sudden you was on podium and you're speaking and you have a life jacket and we come to rescue, The people need the life jacket now more than ever. We need it. Rescue the health sector. Rescue the education sector. Rescue the agriculture sector. Pretty soon we are going to see, if not, I stand to be corrected, 30% of Grenada economy. In terms of SGU provides 30% of Grenada economy. We are seeing now Barbados over there is building a new school. What is it that this government are doing to buffer the effects that we are going to feel pretty soon from SGU? And when you hear them on Aaron and Neptune station program, you want to find out, come on. These are the kind of things we need to know. We need to also know the monies that was lost during the strike, when the port had to close down. Millions of dollars was lost. Is that what we fought for? So I am asking all these questions and hoping to get answers, but I cannot get answers. Because they are a government that only give you the headline, but never give you the body of a story. Sheldon, I don't want to stay too long. There are other people that want to.
All I seen under the live is buzz.
Well, I want to say something, Sheldon. I want to say something. They're all over the place now. Oh, they muzzle mosquito. Oh, they muzzle mosquito, man.
Yeah, right.
Come on, I told them. And let me tell them something.
Joke.
Finley Jeffrey taught me biology in school. And he tell me that when you cannot spell a word, if you cannot spell the correct scientific word, you use the local word that you know it as. I am telling them that I don't need no wings to speak. Nobody cannot muzzle me. I am going to continue to speak the truth and speak with a level of confidence. I am going to continue to speak for the poor and vulnerable, for the voiceless, for the postmen who were promised proper working condition. I am going to continue to speak on behalf of them. I'm going to continue to speak for the poor, for the Coast Guards who have to put a mattress on the floor to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to also speak for the nurses and doctors who does not even have enough proper equipment to work with. I'm going to also speak on the medication that we lacking in the health sector. And I'm going to continue to speak about the millions of dollars that was taken from the people, which is Development Bank. You and I know, Sheldon, that once you are policy makers, lawmakers, you have no right to take money from GDP.
Of course.
I stand to be corrected.
You're correct. You're correct.
To be corrected.
That's the law. The law says that.
Why is it that we have a leader here appalling other ministers to take money from the GDP? These people barely had work even 10 months, 12 months, but millions of dollars was taken away from our bank. Sheldon, I want to tell you that this was not something that happened the first time. We could recall in 2008 to 2013 when a particular minister of finance took 6 months of pay in advance. On
I
the
know.
backs
I know about
of
that
poor
one.
people. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that NDC
I know about that one, eh?
and they does it well. They know how to make people continue to suffer. We also have a policeman who is high in rank, who don't need nothing to me because my monies have to pay him. You understand? But has a contract in the hospital because why? He's politically aligned and branded to the party. We also have an advisor to that is in connection to the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. He's an advisor. Who knows if he's not collecting over $5,000 or more?
Well, he already is collecting 5,000 as an advisor, so is a couple tens of thousands more now with security contracts and then looking for street sweeping. And Django?
Come on.
And Django?
How much thousand? But yes, he actually got a contract under the very nose of the St. Patrick's West and St. Patrick's East ministers' nose. How does that make sense?
Brother
I'm
man.
still fighting for contract to clean the street of Grenville.
Brother man, we go talk again.
Thank you. Have a good night.
If we start, we are finishing 10 o'clock.
Well, but, I mean, come on. I mean, longevity do have its place. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Sheldon, we're going to talk
Muskie, all right, brother. Yes, indeed. Well, I mean, only muzzle the man. Like, not always we look at muzzle people and they could hush people up and that kind of thing. So, why they always feeling that? And every time you look at it, you realize that these individuals are lying. Just lie. And get into this, watch. If it wasn't for the program, I really wouldn't be listening to what they had to say. And then, you have the Prime Minister that's appearing on all media all of a sudden. For a whole year, he ducking different media. But this now, he's trying to appear on every single media program. Somebody say we should invite him here. We go take a vote on that. But everybody, media program, all over the place. But they ain't asking him the questions that we asking here, you know. And all of them listening to this program. Every one of them that interviewing him, they listen to this program religiously. So they know the questions we've been asking, but they're not asking him. We have a call online. Good night. Hello.
Hey, Sheldon, good night. Good night.
Good night, my brother.
I have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Bible says we should respect all government that come into power because it's God them that allow them to go there.
Yeah.
It's also said, uphold the law of the land and pray for the leaders. But there is a part in the Bible also said, it tells us that a liar is worse than a thief. Because a liar could disrupt the whole world. And we have some politicians in Grenada. We have to respect them. We have to pray for them. But why disrespecting us all the time by lying? Tonight I hear the Prime Minister on the radio day talking about why Grenada is not exempted from getting visas from Canada. It's because of the previous government from 2001. More than 22 years ago, you know. Wayne tell us because he's selling passport to the Russians and he have part in the CBI. Let me tell you something. Just now, we're going to be blacklisted. I'm telling the world that. I pray that is not to happen, but it's going to happen. We're going to be blacklisted. Everything this man had to tell you is a lie. Tell us the truth. Why can't he tell us the truth? Mr. Prime Minister, God is going to whip you. And if you can't make If you make 3 years there, you make a lot. God is not sleeping. That's all I have to say for tonight.
All right, my brother. Feel free to call anytime. All right, thank you. And just remember, oh dear, sorry for those of you who were trying to call on the overseas line. I just got the message and I had the line engaged. I'm very sorry. So you can call those of you that were trying to call us on the overseas line. Again, I'm very sorry. And you see, the thing is, he's going to all these programs. Some of them, I don't expect him to be asked specific questions. The reason being the nature of the program. For instance, I know that he was on a particular program tonight. I know that's more of a fun program, back and forth, joke kind of, yeah, I could understand that. Other programs, you expect him to be asked the serious questions, yeah? Because some people claim they're journalists. You expect him to be asked certain questions, but like they're afraid to ask him certain questions that you know if he come in front of us, we're going to ask him, we're going to provide a basis for the question, we're going to provide the facts surrounding what we are saying, and we're going to corner him into answering. Yeah? So they would never come to us. We have a call online. Good night. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, good night, caller. Yes, you're live.
Yeah, this line thing, what you remember you used to play? Some just say when you tell a lie, you're going to hell if you die?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go hit us, you go hit them that way that. Because those things I hear you talking about, it wasn't you with the doom here, you know. With the real doom here. But anyhow, what you're doing there is a very good job.
All right,
just
my brother.
Call them out and make them know Grenadians is awake. We not sleeping. We understand what's going on too. And them fellas could lie too much, boy.
Man.
But you know who's speaking there?
Bull.
That's right, man. El Toro the Bull.
Yes, man. I'm going and play our next one with a lie for you.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little while. So I go hold on the calls for a little while and I play the next one before I run out of time. All right, my brother.
Yeah?
Thank you so very much.
Yeah, my madam want to tell you something. Oh.
Hey?
All right, then. Well, take care.
Okay, my brother. No problem.
Yeah.
The Bullman. Yes, folks, I want to play something for you all. I want to play this for you all, because there's an accusation that's going on out there about prank calls and who prank calling. We're going to hold on the calls for a short while I play this one, because there's an accusation going on out there that prank calls are going out and this and that and so on about who calling who and it's not people from the ministry and so on. So let's just hear. Yeah, let's just hear from the two sides of this thing. Let's just hear. So let's play the GBN report. This is from GBN News. Yeah, I'm playing from Heartbeat. GBN News. So let me just play this for you.
The scheme, according to Senator Thomas, targets persons under the SEED program, informing them that they have been removed as beneficiaries and will no longer receive the payment. The senator says these persons posing to be ministry officials are spreading lies to create havoc within the program.
There are a number of persons who go out there making some prank calls, saying it is coming from ministry official. Who is ministry official? Our social workers and our SEED officers are trained to identify when they make a call and to give the designation. So once you hear ministry official, that could be one of those prank calls. That they are targeting persons who they know will respond in an incensed manner, people who will behave with anger, people who will be furious when those calls are received. And we recognize that these calls are part of the destabilizing mechanisms in place set out to create confusion, unrest, and discord among beneficiaries.
Of fake flyers and social media posts that is used to create disorder within her ministry.
We even have them on Facebook, who send Talia Robinsons and so on. So we have callers, we have Facebook posters, and we have other people using all means just to create problem and to make the Ministry of Social Development look bad. And the government in in general.
Sunday at the NDC.
You all know what? I ain't even interested in listening no more of her. Yeah, seriously. Because you lie. Woman, you lie. Anybody, any one of you have seen any of these posters she's talking about? I have roughly 5,000 friends. Every now and again I have to delete a few and add some. Any of you saw any of these posters she's talking about? Let's just take this call before I play the next thing for you. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon. Good night to the Talking Point family.
Good night.
And all NMPI. And those listening for edification and to enlighten themselves and to open their eyes, because I know a lot of them eyes are still shut. It's just like little puppies now born trying to open their eyes. Open your eyes and open it very quickly on this government. If you all don't open it quick enough, things would pass you all. So much will be happening that you all will be left behind in those little cocoons. And we want you all to be on par with what is going on, because just as how you all said that you all was abreast of what was going on when NMP was in government, and I know many of you all did not even listen to the parliament. And now you're asking some silly questions and accusing NMP members and calling them all sort of derogatory names. You all need to wake up very quickly. Stay woke, according to the saying. Stay W-O-K-E. Stay woke. Because when I listen to the minister, I think she talked about persons and angry and whatever it is. She sounds more angry. She sounds like someone who is so antagonized, and that she's some big bully in the Ministry of Social Development. Perhaps she's in the wrong ministry. Perhaps Dr. Pancho needs to go and give her a check out. The brain needs checking out for this lady. This lady is very disrespectful in the manner in which you spoke. She spoke to the nation. If such is occurring, my question to her is Citizen Rollo really on the seed program? Is he there or is he not on there? And that says it all. If you cannot come and tell the nation whether that individual, imagine one individual is coming forward, and he is a blind man, as far as I understand. Never met him, and they have to call him all sort of derogatory names on social media and in the public when they have discussion in their little corners. It goes to tell how disrespectful they are to the disabled. And to be disrespectful and to withhold a service to a disabled person, it's a big, big mistake they're making. If they're in countries where they're going to be given lawsuits, you're talking about Citizen Rollo winning millions of dollars just for deprivation. The level of harassment that man is going through mentally, this can't be allowed. It cannot be allowed. I don't like to even call some programs sometimes, and because people tend to try to identify you and they try to say, but I really don't care what people have to say, because I would speak for persons who cannot speak. And Citizen Rollo is one of the persons, despite his political affiliation, I do not care. If he voted for the NDC the last election, that's his choice. But what is going on to him should not be occurring at this time. Is somebody who is disabled, somebody who is blind. Once you're blind, you're considered to be disabled. You cannot call him too many different names. You can't even call him blind no more. The respect for him is lost, for the elderly and indigent. He's an indigent person who needs the assistance. He should have been first on the list, and the minister herself would find herself in all sort of a conversation where she had rude conversation with Judas on the phone, the one that caught Jesus sleepers, and she cannot find herself to have a conversation with Citizen Rollo. All of them driving big. No, when you pass them, the van is well wind up. The windows are well wind up, because they forget the persons, the little persons on the ground, who would have taken the effort and time and stand online to vote her government, despite she didn't win the election, but her other party members would have won their seats. And she's glad to enjoy the luxury of being in government. Come on, Senator Gloria, you come last in the class. You need to speak. Your good friend Eddie Frederick, the propagandist and the hatred spreader that we know, saying so much. As you said, sanitize yourself, man. Sanitize yourself and understand your assignment. You need to understand your assignment and your position in the food chain. You're sitting there receiving your big money, and Citizen Rollo is left hungry on a daily basis. Cannot
But
buy
here's what.
basic things that
Here's what, caller.
You all have a problem with him.
Caller, you won't call back because I'm going to play Citizen Rollo for you. Let me play Citizen Rollo now, and you will call back. Okay. All right, no problem.
All right.
Let me actually play Mr. Rollo, his response to what she said.
Speak for likes. I don't ask anybody to click on what I say, not to like me. No, I speak the facts. Listen, let's get this thing straight, Mr. Joseph. Your news item this morning, last night and this morning, directly tells the people that in effect, what went on over the days past was just an issue of quote-unquote prank calls to people who the contrincants or the adversaries will respond with an incensed and angrily, of course, like rabble-rousers like this crazy jackass. But hear this, is that the truth? Written in the news, it will end up as the truth, so I have to clear the air. And it tells me one more thing. It is evident that the quote-unquote access repeating trucklers posing as journalists in GBN did not speak to the minister yesterday. For if they did, they would understand that the minister called me yesterday morning exactly the moment when the BBC was introducing the news. Beep, beep, beep. 6 beeps they made. My telephone rang and we had a mutual exchange on the matter. And we agreed at the end, because she did come up with these prank calls. I stopped her to say, Madam Minister, I did not. She said, let me talk. I gave her because I didn't want to be cantankerous. I let her speak. And then I said, Madam Minister, I would not doubt that we cannot rule out there in fact people making mischief. But my one was not. It's something that I lived. That about 4 weeks ago, I was visited by a member of the staff of the Ministry of Social Development who interviewed me for the process of recertification. I gave her the information and I invited her to review my history, my historical notes within the ministry. She left. The same person on Wednesday, just a couple of minutes to 4 o'clock, called me and told me, Mr. Rollo, I want to report to you that you did not call or you did not pass the qualifying test, or exact words. And of course, that incensed me. All right? That same person, upon being asked, do I have a right to an appeal as an experience years ago? Yes, but this time you're not going before the commission. You give me the information. I'll come to your place tomorrow. I said, tomorrow, madam? Tomorrow is a public holiday. She said, yes, we have to present these notes next week early. So, we'll be coming to your place. And she did. No, I'm saying that she, because yes, it's a woman. I tried to refrain from saying whether it doesn't matter, it was a woman. It is a woman, or was. She's still. And she came to my place on Thursday, the public holiday, Corpus Christi, and we went further into the details. I explained to her how I spend the money that I get. I showed her how I live. She sat right there, and she left. So my case is no case of prank calls. Don't bring it down to that alone, because it wasn't. And the minister agreed. I told the minister, listen, Madam Minister, I want to tell you something. The way this thing is going, I think that we should bring in the police, because somebody is probably being fraudulent here to come and visit me, acting on behalf of the ministry. I have the woman's voice. If I hear it now, I can tell you who it is, because they are bad.
Huh? Citizen Rollo, let me ask you this. On that visitation, you had 1 or 2 visitations?
I had 2 visitations and 1 call.
All right.
Yeah.
And during the visitations, did the person conduct themselves the operation as someone that you were comfortable?
Professional, behave I expect of a social worker and know what they're about.
So you convinced someone from the ministry?
Well, yeah, there we go. I'm happy you asked that question. Before I opened my big stink mouth on Friday morning, I called the ministry and I verified because I got the name of the quote unquote. I didn't know the position name, the change. There was a name change, pardon, of the position. Who the manager was. So I called in Friday morning before I opened my mouth and I called for the manager. That person was unavailable. And the individual, a male this time, answered the phone. I said, well, look, I'd like to ask certain questions to get certain things clarified. He said, well, Mr. Rolo, I may be able to assist you. And he told me, I said, do you have such a person? Name of the person who visited me on staff? Yes. Is that person authorized to come out and so on, even public holidays? Yes, Mr. Rolo, because they have certain tasks to do before certain times. And can you confirm to me that your manager is Miss ... He said, yes. Well, there we go. So I opened my mouth. That is why I don't do things haphazardly. I do things meticulously. That is why when I talk, nobody can contradict or refute me. I don't make confusion for confusion's sake. And so I want to get this thing straight. I would like to suggest, madam, with all due respect, that you clarify this issue. And that the next time, these access repeating trucklers of the GBN who pose as journalists and so on, tell the truth to the people of this here country. I repeat, it's enough bluff. I hope that a line be drawn along this thing. And I'm happy when we conclude in my conclusion of the conversation with the minister that I was not removed from the list. But I'm happy about it because I need the money and I ain't begging no favor of anybody. And additionally, the minister went on to tell Mr. Rolo, we found that son. She gave me a number of certain other people in Grenada who cannot be removed from the list based of the conditions. And I fully agree with that because I know where the money is coming from the World Bank Poverty Mitigation Program. No change to my research on Sunday proved to me. That is no change to the poverty and equality platform. Investigated is there. The money comes from that source, it's not from the coffers of Grenada. But anyway, I'm happy that it's been resolved, but I want the idea of that this was prank calls and this crazy blind jackass was responding to prank calls. No, that's not the truth. Tell the people the truth. I demand it. I wish that I'm clear on this matter, Mr. Joseph. Do have a nice day, will you? Tell them no.
You're the citizen, Rolo.
So all you heard from Mr. Rolo? She lie! She lie, she lie, she lie. That woman could lie. If they had a lying competition, she in the top 3. She prime minister would beat her, but she in the top 3. Yeah? She prime minister would beat her hands down. That man could lie. And he lying smooth. Yeah? But she lie and it's obvious. She lie. Remember, that is the same woman that they tell us.
My government has decided to continue the vertical expansion of seed program, which was scheduled to end in December of this year. This therefore means that family will continue to receive the additional $150 per household.
Yeah, the same woman who did say that. So we know she does lie bad. Right? 4407377. Let's try the WhatsApp again. I restarted everything and I hope it's working right now. So let's try to give an opportunity to someone on the WhatsApp and let's see if... Hello, good evening. Yes, it's working. Hello, good evening.
Shalom.
Hi.
Good night. This is true because they call my sister and tell her that she husband cannot get money. So that is true.
That was no prank call.
No, that is true.
Okay. All right, my dear.
All right.
Thank you so very much.
Okay.
So the minister lie. She lie, and she lie. So already, who was trying to reach me on the WhatsApp working right now. Who was calling on the landline overseas and direct, you all can call back now. Right, let me see who will call first. Right? So they lie, and they lie. You understand? Let me see who call on the overseas. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon. I'm calling back. I think
I'll give you 2 minutes, sir. Yeah, go right ahead.
Yes. Senator Thomas, I don't have much to say, but what I want to see here is the prank call that she is referring to is that she is being pranked because now there is a new minister going to be in her position, and she is being pranked to show how incompetent she is and how irrelevant she is in the ministry, in running her ministry. That's what it is.
All right, my brother.
Judas already take her position. She already been sold for 40 pieces of silver. Good night.
All right, my brother. So, I mean, me and Rolo now, let the fight up, Papa. Not me and Citizen Rolo. Rolo catch them, he roast them, he skin them, he season them, and he cook them. Me. We have a call online. Good night.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night.
Yeah, the minister that says that they know how to run a country. He's so sure they know how to run a country and they know how to find money. He boasts about that, right? They are competent. Why should someone have to give them advice? I listen to the people who say, no, they should call and give an advice or write a letter and, explaining things, how things should be done or what. No, they don't need that. If they needed that, he would have watched his words. He would have think before he opened his mouth and say those things. They know how to run a country. So once you know how to run a country, you don't need advice. So that is what's going on. And even the medication that they said, the drugs that is on in boat or whatever, that is in the country. That must be, them must be storing that up for when you open the new hospital. The teaching hospital. So that must be drugs is storing up for when you open this teaching hospital. Instead of they starting to build secondary schools.
My dear, I just didn't want to put up. I've got a receipt here from someone who they are now an outpatient at the General Hospital. And the receipt that they sent to me is 1,300 and how much? 1,300 and something. I had it here a short while ago. Yeah? 1,000, excuse me, $1,344.95. And yeah, that's just for 2 sets of medication, That's just for 2 sets of medication that individual had to get.
Even the person with the gauze, they have nothing to stop the bleeding. You understand? So therefore, they have to pack gauze inside the person. But that too is dangerous.
My dear, this is the craziness that we hear going on. And instead of addressing the problems, you have these people attacking the people that's speaking out. So they're attacking Mosquito Man. Yeah? Well, attacking me doesn't really make a difference because me ain't care what them so say. Yeah, I speak in the truth. if they could prove that a lying, well, come and do it. But me ain't afraid them. So they could attack as much as they want. Me ain't afraid them. 4407377. And let me just say this one. I've had that information since the beginning of the program. And I just wanted to say it officially that we send our condolences to the family of Coach Harvey Glantz. That's Karani's coach. It's an individual that I met on several occasions myself. I've met him. I know that he was a very nice person, a very hardworking person. He had a special love for Karani James. He had a special love for Grenada on a whole. He always felt at home. When he was in Grenada, Coach Harvey always felt at home. I think he had an incident last week and he has died sometime today. So we're sending out our condolences on behalf of the Talking Points family to the family and friends of Coach Harvey Glantz. I know he's a person who used to be in Grenada every now and again when Karani come down. He come down with Karani and stuff like that, whether it's the Grenada invitationals or just to come down and do some training or so, or they're in transit going somewhere and they decide to spend 2 days down here. And he has died. All right, 4407377. That's 4407377. Let me see. 4407377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside. I was going and go on to the interview at the Prime Minister last night, But you know what? I'm going to hold that for tomorrow night. We are not on 91.9, 91.5 tomorrow night, but we are online. So you can look for us on YouTube. You can look for us on Facebook. We will be on tomorrow night, God's willing, online. All right, so you can look for us on both of them. Let me just give someone on the WhatsApp the opportunity here. Yeah, we have a few minutes left. Not because saying that mean I ending the program. No, I'm just telling all you. We have a call online. Good night. Hello.
Hi, good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night, my dear.
Listen,
I have a cousin that just came from the hospital. She spent about 2 months with her eye. And she was telling me that she had to pay over $1,000 for medication. So when you hear Gloria talking, she lie. She damn really lie. The person spent 2 months down in the hospital with the eye infection. Yeah, so.
All right, my dear. Thank you so very much. All right. Yeah, and someone was trying to call me all the time, and that was at the point in time that the line was giving a problem. Let me see if I can find that individual. Let me see if I can find their call, and call them back. Yeah, sometimes people calling and they have an important point to make, and because the line get in trouble, sometimes we don't get through. So I'm trying to call back that individual now and give them the opportunity. It's only fair they were trying to call for the entire night. Right, so let me see if I get them. As you know, when I'm talking like that, it's on the WhatsApp. But again, you have to understand something about these people. They lying. Yeah, and they've been proven as lying. And it's not just me. You hear the people who saying it. Listen to Citizen Rollo. He spoke to the minister. The minister knows she speak to him, He speak to the minister. He spoke to the minister. And it was obvious that it was no prank caller that called him. Was somebody from the ministry, and there's several other people in that situation. Yeah? If it's a prank caller, how some of them money stop? If it's a prank caller, how some of them money stop and it's a prank call? Yeah? You're saying prank call, but yet still the person money still. It's obvious that it is someone from the ministry who is doing these things. It's obvious. So I don't understand how they could try to give the impression that, that is somebody trying to make them look bad. Who making them look bad is themselves because they keep lying. Yeah? Dare I say, they're greedy. Because to come into office and in less than 6 weeks, you take a $2,000 increase and you take it in a way that you're not paying any taxes on it, that is greedy. That only your friends and your close associates getting all the contracts, tens of thousands of dollars, that is greediness. And then they're lying on top of that. We have a caller. Good night.
Good night.
Hi, good night, my dear. You're live.
They changed GBN station name, GBN station name now is Fox News.
Fox News Grenada?
Yeah, Fox News Grenada.
Oh, gosh. I'm a friends and them working in GBN, man. Oh, gosh. I feel sorry for them. Oh, gosh. Oh gosh. I love the GBN staff. They're my good friends and so in GBN. I love them. Oh my. We have a call online. Good night.
Yeah,
Hello?
good night, Mr. Scott.
Hi, good night. You go right ahead. We have 2 minutes remaining, so you have 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, Mr. Olo is smart. What you should have done, you should have wait to see that if they will really take out the money and then you should have speak up.
Well, the thing is, in his situation, it's not a case the man could do without it. It's not a case. It's not a case he could do without it. And remember, is all It's not like they just taking out a 150. They've already taken out the 150 from him before. Now they was taking out the little bit that he getting. They was taking all. How does a person like Mr. John Rollo, how does his circumstance improve? The man is over 70. He is clinically blind. Yeah. Therefore, he is unemployed. He has no source of income to say that he's blind, but he's doing this or he's doing that and the other. How does his circumstance improve to the point that he no longer qualifies for the seed program? I would really like them to explain that to me.
Yeah, well, the place was nice Sunday, man.
Of course, beautiful, man. I loved it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And the music, I mean, that was just music for a Sunday line, man.
Yeah, man. But looking forward to seeing you at the next one, eh?
Where the next one will be now?
Don't worry, man. You will get information soon. You're getting information real soon.
Yeah.
All right. No problem, brother.
Yeah, we will talk.
All right.
Yeah.
Folks, and I think that's it. I'll have to wrap right there for tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you, and tonight's program has been a wonderful program as usual. Folks, those of you that are not yet subscribed, remember to subscribe to the YouTube page, like the Facebook page, so that when we go live, you will get a notification. that we have gone live. So you won't miss a program. And in case you miss a program, all you would have to do is go back on YouTube and it will be right there for you to see. So remember to like and share the live. All right. That's all the time we have for tonight. I need to do some background work here tonight because I realized one or two things sticking and so on. So there's some work I need to do here, but I have to get out of here first and then I'll have to come back in and sort out or do it remotely. And so, folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. In everything you say, everything you do it safe and secure. We would love to be speaking to and with you, and we would definitely hate to only be speaking about you. My name is Sheldon Scott. I am out of here. Let me see if I could find a nice one. Yeah, the same one I tell you all I'm going to leave. Yeah, let me leave you all with that one for tonight.
Of men are scornful of principles of godliness, wisdom, and freedom. But woe comes swiftly, man. But woe comes quickly. Yes, they use and abuse women. They raise no children. Corruption, embarrassment, and shame. So in order to maintain power against the very forces of nature, they need to have the citizens living in fear. Man, but be not afraid, for there is your enemy. A man afraid to speak of what oppresses him, himself to a man just like him. But be not afraid, for woe comes suddenly. Just as the longest road comes to a bend, so do the evil works of evil men bound to soon to come to an end. Their kingdom they would kneel if they feel that they could cross a deal. But woe comes swiftly, man. Woe comes quickly. Yeah. Now workers want to please their employers and their bosses by victimizing their neighbor, because today their party is in power. I see, but they know what they do is wrong, and it's weighing their conscience down, because all men know that no man knows the hour.